Alright, hello people, I am the dude and this is my rant review for the movie The Wrath of Vajra, which is a foreign martial arts movie. I didn't like it. That's the short version, I really didn't like it. I wanted to like it, because it had kind of a cool premise, and it looked really nice. You know, the backdrops and everything looked really nice. The musical score was good. It made sense, you know, where they put which song and all that stuff, and it all sounded good. But, I don't know. The long version with the spoilers, the characters were really bad for the most part. There's one character in this entire movie that I liked, one, and I'll bring him up later when I get to the very few redeeming qualities of this movie, but they were all boring for the most part. The general, his daughter, 28, 29, the lieutenants, or whatever, the army guys, the gravedigger, who could have been a much more interesting character. He's basically just there to take the military guys off later on when they're not really dead or whatever. That's his sole purpose. He's pointless. I don't know. I mean, there's no real memorable characters here except for one, which is too bad. But worse than that, there's no memorable fight scenes here. Even the one character that I did like, his fight scene wasn't particularly memorable or amazing either. But it's all really uninteresting. I mean, you watch like Ong Bak and you see him doing crazy stuff that you've never seen before, right? Like knocking out elephants and shit. I mean, stuff like that. That's what a martial arts movie needs to strive for. Something new, something exciting, something... You can't just have the same old punching and kicking in every single martial arts movie and expect it to be interesting, because it's not going to be. This is that type of movie. It's all stuff I've seen before. No really cool, crazy, whacked out moves. No, insane acrobatics. Nothing. And worse than that, there was only 3 real fight scenes in the entire movie. The rest of them were, here's a bunch of guys getting their ass kicked. You know, it's completely one-sided. Or it's massive amounts of dialogue that I don't care about. The general's a bad guy. Okay, I got that the first scene that he showed up in the movie. I didn't need 5 more telling me how he's still a bad guy. Oh, he's still a bad guy. He's still doing bad things. He's doing more bad things. I don't care. I get it. He's the bad guy. I mean, you see all of his motivation in that very first scene. He wants to bring the death cult back. Okay, I get that. I didn't need all that other exposition. It was pointless. His daughter, her character was completely pointless. The only thing she does in the entire movie is she, takes a picture once, and it kind of, I think, distracts one of the fighters or something, but that's her entire contribution to the entire movie. All of it. And she's in probably, 5 to 10 scenes for no reason. The military guys... They're completely useless. They're supposed to be sympathetic characters that you're supposed to root for. But he's already there rescuing the fucking children, right? That's all the incentive he needs. That's all the incentive we need to root for him. He's there to save the children so they don't, get trained to be evil killing machine people that murder each other or whatever. That's all we needed. You didn't need the soldiers. You didn't need the guy with the stupid pocket watch and his picture of his son and the war and all that crap. You didn't need any of that. It added nothing to the movie, just a bunch of useless dialogue. The main character was boring as hell. You get some of his backstory at the very beginning of the movie where he was a part of this death cult assassin thing, whatever, and then he left and become a Shaolin monk, and now he's all meditating and trying to find inner peace and all this shit. And the death cult shows up, steals all the local children to turn them into assassins, and he's like, oh, I gotta go save them. And that's all you needed. That could have been done in 5 minutes. I mean, seriously, you could have told us all that in 5 minutes and then got right into the fighting. That's another thing. It takes forever to get to get to the first real fight. You have to have the hero's introduction. You have to have the bad guy's introduction. You have to see the general and meet him. You have to talk to the military guys. They have to show up and they all talk and they get their crappy fight scenes where they basically just get their asses kicked. All of this stuff has to happen before you see the first real fight scene of the movie where the hero actually fights someone. It takes forever. It takes forever to get to that point. And it's not even really a good fight scene. He's fighting this big mountain of a guy, but he just manhandles him. It's completely one-sided. I don't even know if the bad guy lands a single shot on him. It's a really long fight, but he just literally dominates him the entire fight. He's just kicking the crap out of him. So, really boring. Like I said, the only real redeeming quality of the entire movie was one character. He's the crazy monkey. His name's the crazy monkey. And he's got the coolest name. He's got the coolest, character. He's interesting. He's fun to watch. Let's put it that way. when the hero 29 finally meets the crazy monkey, he's pissed off at him because he killed some of his friends or something. So apparently some of the military guys, 29, knew them when he was a kid, or I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's mad at the crazy monkey. That's all you need to know. So he shows up and he meets the crazy monkey, and the crazy monkey is fucking crazy. He's really, really cool. He's like, he moves around like this all the time, and like he's like waving his hands, and he's got like claws and shit. And he ducks in and out of darkness. And they call him like two different names. They call him the crazy monkey, and they call him the something zombie. Something, because he looks like a zombie. He does. And he's got like really nasty teeth, and his hair's all crazy, and his character's just really cool. The way he moves and the way he sounds, and his dialogue's really cool. You can tell there's something off about him. He speaks in like incomplete sentences and shit. But he's just a really cool character. The problem is, when his fight finally comes around, it's all stuff I've seen before again. I mean, yeah, he's somewhat acrobatic, but none of it was, ooh, ah, wow, that's amazing. None of it was. They jump around a lot, and the monkey tries to get away from him, and he just kind of chases him down and beats the crap out of him and ends up drowning him, sadly. The monkey should have had better choreography. He was a really cool character, and he deserved a better fight scene, to be honest. And then spin on, you get a whole bunch more dialogue with the general and his daughter, and 28 and 29, they talk all the damn time throughout this movie, and basically all it is, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy, we don't agree. Let's fight somewhere, way at the end of the movie, possibly, after we've had, 10 different sit-down sessions talking about the same shit over and over again. It's pointless. It literally is fluff, padding. Completely pointless. We already knew at the beginning of the movie that the good guy believes in, the Shaolin way, and he wants to save the children, and he wants to stop the death cult or whatever. And we already knew that the bad guy wants to be the successor in the death cult, and he wants to spread the cult religion or whatever. We already knew all that at the very beginning of the movie. We don't need them to keep bringing it back up in their stupid little meetings every time they have a little chit-chat. It's pointless. But yeah, a whole bunch more of that, and then you spin on to the very end of the movie, and 28 and 29 finally face off. They never so much as throw a punch until the very last fight scene in the entire movie. And they're the protagonist and the antagonist, right? And they finally have their face off, and it's kind of meh. It's probably the best fight scene in the movie, but that's not saying much. It's okay. They're both badasses, apparently the best that this cult could ever produce. And they're both really tough, and they're throwing, and even when they connect, it doesn't even look like they're hurting each other. And then out of nowhere, the bad guy, 28, lands a really good shot somehow. It doesn't look any more special than any of the other, blows that he's thrown at this point, but somehow it is, and it knocks 29 down. And then he gets really, really mad, and then he just beats him up and wins. I kid you not. It's the hero comeback. The trope that's in so many martial arts movies where the hero's getting his ass handed to him, and he has no right at all to win the fight. He should lose by all rights. And then out of nowhere, he just makes this miracle comeback and wins. It's like that. Where 28 somehow gets the advantage and knocks him down and beats the crap out of him. And then out of nowhere, 29 is just like, oh, I'm the good guy. I win. You know what I mean? Just like out of nowhere. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. The general really doesn't come back. His character's completely pointless throughout the entire movie. He's completely pointless. I mean, maybe at the very beginning, you could have shown him as, he's the leader of the cult, and he's the one that trained them, and okay, blah, blah. For the rest of the movie, his character had no point at all. And like I said, you see like 5 to 10 scenes with him, and they're all pointless. The woman, the daughter or whatever, like I said, her character's all over the place in this movie, and again, pointless. She serves no purpose. At the end of the movie, 29 he scoops up the children and takes them back, and yay, good guy wins. That's it. I mean, all the wasted character development goes nowhere. Nowhere. It's pointless. So that's what this movie is. This movie, in every facet, is pointless. I mean, even the fight scenes, there was only one that was half decent. It was the very end one. And it wasn't really that good. I mean, pick any Bruce Lee fight in any movie he's ever been in, and it's better than this. Even his worst is better than the best scene in this entire movie. Jackie Chan's worst fight scene in any movie was better than the best fight scene in this movie. I know they're big names or whatever, but I mean, they weren't that good. They weren't that interesting. They weren't memorable. I won't remember them tomorrow. You know what I mean? The movie felt really long and drawn out, and most of the characters were really uninteresting. Like I said, the Crazy Monkey deserved a better movie. He did. Whoever his actor was, he deserved a better movie because he's the only one that made a decent character out of this entire movie. Or at the very least, they should have made him the villain instead of that boring ass, muscle-bound guy, 28 or whatever. His character was so uninteresting. He's just like, ooh, I'm a bad guy. I'm gonna do bad things. See if you can stop me. Mwahaha, that's it. He was as one-dimensional as it gets. At least Crazy Monkey had the whole zombie craziness thing going for him. He was unpredictable. You didn't know what he was gonna do. But yeah. Anyways, The Wrath of Vajra Rant review. I don't recommend it at all. If anything, just look up like the Crazy Monkey on YouTube, and you'll see the only good part of this entire movie. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. That's literally the only good part in this entire movie. So, and if you want to see a good martial arts movie, watch any Bruce Lee movie. Watch any Donnie Chen movie. Watch any Jackie Chan movie. The Ong Box were great. All the movies where you have a memorable hero and really good choreography. That's all you need for a good martial arts movie. You need a really charismatic hero, which Jackie Chan is, Donnie is, Bruce Lee is. They're all really charismatic in their own right, and you need a really good choreographer who can do something new and interesting with the fight scenes instead of the same old punching and kicking. If you can get those two things, you will have a good martial arts movie. It doesn't matter how low budget it is. Those are the only two things you need. And apparently they didn't have it here. So they didn't have either one. So I don't know what else to say. I'll see you guys next time. When I get to the very few redeeming qualities of this movie, but they were all boring for the most part. The general, his daughter, 28, 29, the lieutenants, or whatever, the army guys, the gravedigger, who could have been a much more interesting character. He's basically just there to... there's no memorable fight scenes here. Even the one character that I did like, his fight scene wasn't particularly memorable or amazing either. But it's all really uninteresting. I mean, you watch like Ong Bak and you see him doing crazy stuff that you've never seen before, right? Like knocking out elephants and shit. I mean, stuff like that. That's what a martial arts movie needs to... Alright, hello people, I am the dude, and this is my rant review for the movie The Wrath of Vajra, which is a foreign martial arts movie. I didn't like it. That's the short version. I really didn't like it. I wanted to like it because it had kind of a cool premise, and it looked really nice. The backdrops and everything looked really nice. To take the military guys off later on when they're not really dead or whatever. That's his sole purpose. He's pointless. I don't know. I mean, there's no real memorable characters here except for one, which is too bad. But worse than that, nice. The musical score was good. It made sense, where they put which song and all that stuff, and it all sounded good. But, I don't know. The long version with the spoilers, the characters were really bad for the most part. There's one character in this entire movie that I liked, and I'll bring him up later.